Hi everyone, this is it, the ultimate starting guide to Microsoft Teams. In this video, you'll learn about Microsoft Teams, what it is and how you can use it with your classes, but also your year level, faculty and staff teams. Microsoft Teams is a modern, contemporary application that brings together so many different tools into one centralized location. It's an application used in schools, universities, businesses, and large-scale organizations. As a teaching tool, it functions as a digital space for learning, communication, and collaboration. It helps activate student voice, promote learner autonomy, and facilitate asynchronous styles of learning. It's primarily a tool used in face-to-face classroom instruction, but it can also be used for hybrid and online learning too. For professional staff, you'll find that Microsoft Teams helps to streamline communication, reduce unnecessary email, and gives you more time back to focus on the things you need to in your role. It encourages participation and input from all team members and reduces those confusing back and forth email chains where static documents live in emails and are hard to find. In Microsoft Teams, all files and resources shared and created live in the almighty online cloud, so you don't need to send a new email anymore every time a change is made to a document. Messages can be edited after they've been sent, and you can interact with and acknowledge messages in a way that doesn't require you to send an entirely new email. Because this video is for all professional and teaching staff, I'm casting a wide net here. I'm going to focus on some of the basics and core functionality of Microsoft Teams, and whilst I won't be referring to specific pedagogical approaches or how this could be used in your line of work, you might like to have this in the back of your mind as we go through some of the features. This is designed to be watched in small parts so that you can pause the video throughout and have a go and follow along yourself. So let's begin. When you open Microsoft Teams, you'll see the sidebar with a few icons. This is used to navigate between the different applications. For now, let's click on the Teams icon. This will display all of the teams that you're currently a part of. Teams are like groups. There are class teams with students and teachers, and there are also staff teams, which only include staff members. I'm going to click on a class team. By default, every team has one channel titled General, and these channels house conversations, files, and more. Whilst you can create additional channels, for the vast majority of teams, I recommend that you only have one. Over time, you'll see in the general channel the conversations that you or others have started. Think of these conversations like entirely new email threads. When you want to reply, click on Reply underneath the conversation. Don't click on the new conversation icon. It's like when you receive an email and you want to respond. You don't send an entirely new email when you want to reply, you just click Reply. If you want to acknowledge what someone has said, but not necessarily spend all the time writing this long, orchestrated message saying, "Dear Louise, I hope this email finds you well in these uncertain and unprecedented times," you can just hover over a message and react to it. This then signifies to the person that, hey, it's been seen, thanks. When you do want to post a new conversation, such as starting a discussion or posting homework, you can then click on New Conversation. You can then start to type your message. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably in the habit of pushing enter on your keyboard to create a line break or a paragraph break in an email. But because Microsoft Teams is a more seamless style of communication, pushing enter on your keyboard sends your message straight away. So instead, you can push Shift Enter on your keyboard and this will create a line break. However, I prefer and recommend clicking the format icon. This is great because it gives you all the formatting options you're used to, such as making your font bold, italic, or inserting dot points and links. By having these formatting options, it also then allows you to push enter on your keyboard as you normally would. Because we've clicked on the format icon, we can now also add a subject heading. If you want a little razzle dazzle or want to provide further visual clarity to a message, you can click New Conversation and then click Announcement. A banner will then appear and you can now type a banner heading, change the color of it, choose, or upload an image. When you're typing your messages in Microsoft Teams, I strongly recommend mentioning the name of the team, the name of an individual, or if suitable, the name of a channel. This then sends an activity notification so that people are more likely to be aware of what's been posted. To do this, type the @ symbol and then type the name. You'll know that this team personal channel will be notified because it will change color. If for some reason you need a bulletin style message and you don't want students or other members of a team to respond, you can change it so that only you and the team owners can reply. If you need to share the same message in more than one team or channel, you can click on Post in multiple channels and choose where you'd like this same message to appear. Once you're ready to send your message, click on the send icon. In the past, when you've emailed someone and you made a mistake, you would then usually have to send another email. In Microsoft Teams, however, the messages you send can be edited or deleted as needed. To do this, hover over a message you've written, click the three dots, and then click Edit or Delete. If you come across a message or conversation and you want to save and flag it to follow up later, hover over the message, click the three dots, and then click Save this message. All saved messages are then easily accessible by clicking on your profile icon and going to Saved. You can facilitate a reflect check-in in any staff or class team by clicking New Conversation, the three dots, and then Reflect. Once you've opened this once, it will then appear at the bottom for you to always select. With Reflect, you choose from a list of questions that are grouped by personal and social, learning, and goals and intentions. You can change the privacy setting and how long you'd like to keep it open for. Students are then able to select an emoji and choose a word to respond to the question. This data is then viewable by clicking on Explore, or you can click on Insights to view the whole class data. When Reflect is used in a staff team, different questions are able to be selected, and this is grouped under classroom relationships, personal, and educator support. For staff teams, responses are always anonymous. Team files and resources are amazing because these files all live in the cloud. This means that any change you make to a file saves automatically. A new file doesn't need to be resent out to everyone every time there is a small update. And because the documents live in the team files, multiple people can view and edit the document at the same time. To add a document to your team files, you can navigate from the Posts tab to the Files tab. Here, you can create a new folder or file by clicking New. To upload a file that you've already created, click on Upload. When you open any file in Microsoft Teams, most of the files will load up the website version of the application. For example, if you open a Microsoft Word file, all it does is load up the website browser version of Microsoft Word. This is the same for PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, and more. If you prefer these files to open in the actual application, you can hover over the file, click on the three dots, and then click Open in App. If you prefer, you can also change the default settings so that files always open in the appropriate application. Because all files in a team can be edited, you might want to prevent changes from being made. To do this, click the three dots next to a file, click More, and then click Checkout. For teachers, I know what you're thinking. Do I need to do this for every file I share with my students? The short answer is no. With your class team, by default, every Files tab will include a Class Materials folder. Any file placed in the Class Materials folder cannot be edited by the students. You might like to create a separate folder to facilitate student collaboration and peer feedback, and because it's different from the Class Materials folder, students will be able to create, upload, and edit files. If you click the three dots next to a file, you can also rename, delete, or download a file. You can pin important folders or documents so that they appear at the top and are easily viewable. There may be times that you need to move files to a different folder or move the files to a different team entirely, and to do this, click the three dots and then click Move. You can then select where you'd like to move this file to. When you create or upload something to the Files tab, no one in the team will be notified. To link to the file and let people know that it exists, navigate back to the Post tab, and when you're writing a message, click the Attach icon. Because we're browsing to find the file location, click Browse Teams and Channels. You can then select the file. If you haven't uploaded the file yet, click Upload from my computer, navigate to where the file is, which might be in your OneDrive, and select it. It will then ask you to choose where you'd like to save this file in the team. To integrate a website into your team, such as Schoolbox, click the plus icon next to the Files tab, select the website app, and enter in the website link. This website will stay pinned and then be easily accessible to all members of the team. Staff and class teams also have a OneNote built in, and this loads the website version of OneNote in Microsoft Teams. I suggest almost all of your OneNote notebooks are created through Teams because you won't have to manage the member list as it does it automatically, and the OneNote notebook in Teams works really well with a range of other features. When you do create a notebook through Teams, you can of course still open this up in the OneNote application of your choice. You don't need to work out of the Teams view. Microsoft Teams also has a way for people to communicate and collaborate privately outside of a team. For example, if you want to message someone, your first thought may be to send an email. However, in Microsoft Teams, we can use chat. Click on the chat icon on the sidebar, and here you'll see a list of all of your private conversations. Like email, you can message one person or multiple people. To do this, click on the new chat icon and type in their name or email address. You can then click out of it and type a message. In chat, it's a more persistent back and forth conversation, so you'll notice that messages in chat look different from how they're displayed in a team. Often you may want to communicate with multiple people, but don't need to have a team because you're only communicating infrequently or communicating for a short amount of time. For this, you can create chat groups. Click the new chat icon, type in their names, and if you'd like to rename this chat group, click the arrow icon and name the group accordingly. If you'd like to add people to the chat conversation at a later time, click the View and Add Participants icon and then click Add People. After your chat group has 3 or more people in it, when you go to add a person, it will prompt you with some options. Don't include chat history, include history from a specific number of days, or include all chat history. You can also open your chat messages in a new window. And to do this, double-click the chat or click the pop-out chat icon. Chat is great because all of the files that you have shared are easily accessible in the Files tab. It's not like email where you have to search for hours trying to find a file that was shared. It's all in one location. When you do share a file in chat, unlike with a team, it doesn't create a new file or storage location. Instead, in chat, everything shared just links to your OneDrive file location. Lastly, if you'd like to pin the chat conversation to the top of the screen so that it's accessible, click the 3 dots and click Pin. Finding conversations, files, and people in Microsoft Teams is really easy because there's a powerful search function. To use the search bar, type in a keyword or phrase and it will then display all of the results. If you click Messages, this can be filtered further by clicking on Type, Teams and Channels, From, and Date. If you're trying to find a file, you can search by Team, File Type, Modified By, and Date. In Microsoft Teams, there are a range of ways to create a meeting and a call. To create a new meeting, click on the calendar icon on the sidebar and then click New Meeting. Edit the meeting to include a title, time, location, and details. To invite people to the meeting, enter their names in the Add Required Attendees section. If you would like to invite all members of a team, you don't need to add their names in the Add Required Attendees section. Instead, type the name of the team in the Add Channel section and select the appropriate channel, such as General. To send and save the meeting invite, click Send. If you would like to join the meeting online, click on the event in your calendar and then click Join. To call or video call someone, click on Chat on the sidebar and then click on the new chat icon. Type in their name or email address and select their name when it appears. Once you click out of it, it will then open up a new chat with this person. You can now call them directly by clicking the video or audio call icon. To start a call with your students, click on the Teams icon and click on your class team. Then click on Meet. Students will then see a banner appear and they're able to join the call. When you enter a call or an online meeting, you'll be prompted to check your audio settings. Here, you can turn your webcam on, your microphone on or off, and for almost everyone, you'll click computer audio. If you have additional speakers or microphones plugged in, you may want to click the audio settings icon and make further changes. Once you've entered the call, you'll have your usual webcam and microphone icons. The participants icon lists everyone in the call, and if there's someone missing from the call, you can type their name in and this will call them on their device. The conversation icon opens up the meeting chat, where you'll see written messages from people in the meeting. The react icon lets you raise your hand, applaud, or laugh. To create breakout rooms, click on the breakout room icon, choose the number of rooms you'd like to create, and then assign participants automatically or manually. Once they're created and opened, the people in the call will be sent to their chat rooms, and as the host of the meeting, you can join the different breakout rooms, make an announcement, and close the rooms once you'd like all participants to return back to the main call. If you click the 3 dots, you'll see a range of different options and features that you can select. Select device settings if you ever need to change your headphone or microphone settings in the call. You can also select meeting options and change the settings so that other people in the call can share their screen. You can disable the microphone and camera for attendees, and this can be changed at any point during the call. If you make any changes, make sure to click Save. Heading back to the options, you have a large gallery mode to show up to 49 webcams, and you can also apply background effects, which is great if you're in an office and need to blur the background. You can turn on live captions for the meeting, and also start a transcript that can be shared after the meeting so that everything that is said is automatically written down. Meetings can be recorded, and after the meeting, the video recording is accessible by everyone and saved in the meeting chat. The share content icon lets you share your screen. I recommend selecting window and then choosing the window that you'd like to share so you know exactly what the participants are seeing. If you click include computer sound, the participants will hear whatever is being played from your computer, such as a video or music. Lastly, there are various presenter modes which creates a virtual green screen and makes the content you're presenting look a lot more dynamic and engaging. Once you've finished the call, you can click the drop down arrow and either click leave, or if you want the meeting to end for everyone, click end meeting. After a meeting, you'll see an attendance report. This opens up in an Excel document and shows you who attended, when they arrived, and when they left. The last thing I want to show you are your settings, including changing notifications and the overall look of your Microsoft Teams. To view and change your settings, click the three dots and click Settings. You can change the theme to dark mode, which makes it a bit easier on your eyes, and you can also change the Teams layout to list, which changes how the teams are displayed. I prefer the list view because it allows me to jump in and out of team channels easily. If you want to change your notifications, head to the notifications section. I recommend turning off show message preview so you don't accidentally show any confidential information when a notification appears. While you're getting used to Microsoft Teams, I would turn on play sound for incoming calls and notifications and also select all activity. This has been the starting guide to Microsoft Teams. I hope you found it helpful, and whilst there is still so much more to uncover, hopefully this provides you with a strong foundation for the months and years ahead. Be safe, be well, be kind, and I'll talk to you all soon.